scare for Electoral College voters. Members in multiple states who intend to support Donald Trump say that they have been getting death threats ahead of today's important vote. Michigan Elector Michael Banerian is with us. He's one of those voters. He joins us right now, live. Michael, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Tell us what you've been challenged by. What threats have you received specifically?
Yeah, so unfortunately the divisiveness of this election cycle bled over into the weeks following it, and I've just been inundated with thousands and thousands of letters to my house, emails, Facebook messages, and some of those messages unfortunately were death threats, and I've had people that have been talking about putting a bullet in the back of my mouth, burning myself and my family, sending pictures of nooses saying that if I don't do the right thing and vote for Hillary Clinton, they'll get me. Just some really uncalled for rhetoric from the left, just because Donald Trump won the election. So it's really been disappointing.
Do you know these people, or they just found you and they figured out your email and sent you an email saying, I'm going to put a gun in your mouth?
Yeah, so it's interesting. The information that we have, our address and our email, was listed publicly, and we had groups that were compiling all of our information and blasting it out to their members and telling them to essentially harass us. Now, fortunately, not all of the messages that I've received are death threats specifically, but most of them do have a pretty nasty tone to them and are very aggressive. So it's just been, like I said, very disappointing to hear from these people in such a way.
Wow.
Hi, Michael. Kirsten Hagland here. First of all, I'm so sorry that this has happened to you, and thank you for coming on and sharing your story and really being strong in the face of this. But let's demystify a little bit, because a lot of people don't realize that some electors in dozens of states are forced to actually vote by the party for the person, the candidate who won their state. Others face fines. It's not like it's just you, Michael Banerian, who say, I'm going to go vote for Trump. This is a democratic process. This is how the states work, and you are going to represent the people. And these people that are just sending death threats, these few letters are not representative of the millions of people that voted and are now sending you to represent them.
Right, and that's absolutely correct. And it's kind of funny, most of the letters that I've been receiving are from California and New York, and I just think it's funny that these people think that their opinions are somehow something that I'm more beholden to than the millions of Michigan voters who sent the message that they want Donald Trump and Mike Pence as their next president and vice president. So, like I said, it's just been very interesting to see how these people are reacting to the election results.
Michael, do you think the Democratic Party is to blame here for enabling and empowering these people to take this type of stance and to attack our democratic institutions? Yeah, and I want to preface this by saying I have no delusions that there are not crazies on the Republican side. I mean, we have a lot of divisiveness on both sides, but in particular to this situation, I do blame the Democratic Party and Hillary Clinton for the rhetoric that they've pushed over the last year. Let's just look at the facts here. Hillary Clinton not just called Trump and Republican supporters deplorable, but she said we were irredeemably so. She said the enemy she was most proud of was Republicans. So when you talk like that, she not only demonized Republicans, she dehumanized us. And doing that enables these people, like you said, to think that it's somehow okay to send death threats and aggressive messages to get us to change our votes.
So Trump tweeted yesterday, if my many supporters acted and threatened people like those who lost the election are doing, they would be scorned and called terrible names. Do you agree with what Trump is saying? I mean, do you think that supporters would be attacked if it was the other way around?
Well, I think the scorning not only would happen, it has happened. We had situations where emotions boiled over during some of the Trump rallies, which was unfortunate, and the media scorned those people vehemently. So I don't think that this hasn't happened before to the other side. So I find it interesting, the hypocrisy that these people are feeling, that they can send death threats and talk like this. But during the general election, when we had some emotions boil over at the Trump rallies, it was all about scorning these people and how awful they are in our society. So it has happened, I think.
Hey, Michael, it's Morgan. I'm curious how the process actually works today. What happens when you as an elector go to vote to cast your vote for Trump?
Yeah, so we meet at our state capitol. I'm in Lansing right now. And what we do is we have a special session of the Senate, and then we officially cast our votes for President and Vice President of the United States. And that vote is then certified by the governor and sent to Washington, D.C. for the Vice President to tally the votes officially in front of a joint session of Congress.